You're tuned into the New Old Heads podcast, premiered every Thursday at noon at BringingDownTheBand.com and brought to you by No Bad Ideas, Coleman Dental, Printfinity, and Indie CD and Vinyl. Support the New Old Heads by visiting our Patreon at patreon.com/newoldheads.
Episode 114 of the New Old Heads podcast. I am Major 7. I make beats. I have a hard drive as well as everyone else at this table.
Say that.
2019 New Old Heads podcast. We are here. Lonegevity, how are you, sir?
I'm swell. How are you, Mike?
Swell. I like that.
Yeah, thanks.
Nice branding there with that mug. I see you.
Yeah, $20. Hit me up.
That's right. We got them things. In the corner, as always, Fresh to Death rocking an Adidas joint.
Hey, actually, don't hit me up. You can go to the site and buy it.
There you go. DJ Jay Diff.
Salutations.
How you doing, good brother?
I'm great.
How was your
doing?
holiday?
It was cool, man. Family time, food, folks, and fun.
You don't care about my family?
Huh?
Oh, I'm sorry.
Selective caring.
Yeah. I mean, I
Is it
saw
'cause
him
I'm
on
white?
break.
It's because I'm white.
That's clearly what it is. Yeah, I saw him on break, though. I didn't see you, so I figured out.
That's true.
You know what I'm saying?
Cool.
You did come by my mom's house. You know,
I did.
for a
I
minute.
did. I saw you at the good city of Anderson.
When
I
you
did get a
stole my
chance to
phone
see.
charger.
I did. I apologize for that, too.
Yeah.
You need anything else from me?
Who's
or?
really out here thugging if you doing all the thievery?
See? We're not going to even go down that road.
Fantastic point.
Yeah.
We're not going to go down that road. Speaking of the voice you just heard, to my immediate left, the incomparable DJ Spoolz.
Hello, Michael.
How are you, sir?
Doing well. How are you?
Doing pretty good. Go Bears.
Go Bears.
Yeah.
Playoffs.
Go Bear.
Yeah, we'll find out next week, right?
No, they're in the playoffs.
I'm talking about they have who do they have to play
They
in
play
the
the
first round?
Eagles.
Eagles.
Sunday at like 4 or 4:30.
Nick Foles magic. We gonna see.
We will, man. That's a tough draw for the Bears. Like that is just because they're the defending champs and all. The Eagles.
Very,
so.
very, very tough. We have
But I feel great about them.
yes, sir. We have a special guest with us at the head of the table, Mr. Deckademics. This guy right here is cold at what he does. Incredible DJ. One of my favorites. I think if I ever get married, he's probably going to be there. I don't know what that bag is talking about, though, but we'll talk about that when that time comes.
You got to get a girlfriend first.
I got to start there, right? But I'm just telling Nick now, down the road. You know what I'm saying? That's what I'm thinking. DJ MetroGnome is in the building. How are you, sir?
I'm feeling great, man. I'm glad to be here.
I like
I've
your
watched 113 episodes
My man.
before being able to sit in this chair.
We appreciate it.
We appreciate your support, brother. You've
Indeed.
actually you are a patron. You've run some wax. You've done a lot with us actually on the low.
Yeah, well,
How's the wax?
it was great until I got that last Nas joint.
You didn't want that one?
Yeah,
You know, it's still in the shrink wrap. I might, re-gift it to somebody.
yeah. That album was. We talked about that. I like your hat. Did you wear that for any particular reason?
Man, it's funny you might bring this up. This from
very
the Red
nice.
Bolt Rain. I know you guys have covered it a few times, but it's where I gave you that work in Pig.
Yeah.
See, I mean, you played high school basketball, right?
Yeah.
See,
But-
I didn't, but I
He said,
shut you
yeah.
down that day.
Well, here's the thing. I think we may have told this a couple times, but Nick gave me an opportunity to be the MC for that event for Red Bull. So they had, 3-on-3 tournament. It was live. Long hours. We got there, about 6-ish in the morning?
Probably 7 in the
7-ish?
morning. Yeah, it was early.
So Nick got me there. We got set up, mic check. He pretty much left me there and was like, hey, man, if you have any questions, just give me a call. Anything goes out, any issues, just let me know. So I pretty much talked and moved around and talked for, I don't know, man, 6 to 8 hours probably.
Probably 8. Yeah,
8 hours
it was
straight.
a long day.
And so at that point, I was hoarse, a little tired. He's like, hey, man, you want to play Pig now when you're tired and your voice is out? I said, sure. And he did beat me. So
You definitely need that voice for Pig.
yeah, so he beat me. But we will do a rematch. We're going to have to go live or something when the weather break.
I'm with it.
Can we do that outside court?
I mean, sure. But
Okay.
What was the problem with the indoor court?
Well,
the
I'm
environment.
I'm just asking. I don't
Here
know.
comes the excuse train.
deferment king.
I'm just asking.
Chugga,
We can go
chugga,
inside though.
I would like to mention though, there was a couple people there that witnessed it.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
part of the New Old Head family. They-
Yeah,
I
Lone, I
was
think
a
Lone
witness.
was there.
I was shooting the rainbow shots, remember?
His jumper, man. We're
Yeah.
not going to even talk about that. But yeah, you guys were there. You saw.
Mhm.
He won. I'm not a hater.
Usually in a game of Pig, though, you don't have to do a lot of running back and forth.
Sure
Yeah.
don't.
But
he was exhausted.
My vocals though, the vocals.
The
vocals
is
were
what did it.
Yeah, you need a certain level of vocals to play Pig. But
'Cause
DJ
you have to
Metro,
say the letter.
exactly. Yeah,
Oh,
that can be draining. Very.
got you.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with that.
Duly noted.
Anyway, shout out to the sponsors as well. Coleman Dental, 317-255-8546. Make sure you get your teeth right. Bringing down the band as always is the hub. Printfinity, shop with your local businesses. DJ Jay Diff has a lot of heat for you all for that. Red August is in the building as well. He's not a sponsor, but he does some cool stuff, I guess. No bad ideas. Shout out to them. They take care of us as always, lace us with that heat. And indie CD and vinyl as well. They have looked out for us in our young partnership with them so far. So
Yeah.
we appreciate them as well. Red August, we see you though. You know, it's just
On that note, I would like to. I think Deckademics needs to be a sponsor. So let me know how we need to do that. So just moving forward, that just should be a thing.
money order, food stamps. You know what I'm saying? Checks.
I think we could work that out.
COD.
Absolutely. And we have new classes starting up too next week. So.
I mean, that wasn't
yeah.
even really a plug for the school. I
mean, we
appreciate
rock
that
with-
too.
we-
I mean,
rock
I plug it all the time.
Yeah, we
so.
rock with Deckademics.
Definitely.
Talk about the class real quick. We got time.
We got DJ and producer classes starting next week. So check out Deckademics.com and select your ritual of choice.
I like it.
Ritual of choice.
Yep.
School
like
is
that,
dope
too.
though. Doing a
Yeah,
lot of
it's,
good things.
You know, it starts off. I've talked about it before, but it's a 9-month program. You know, DJ or production, and starts off. It's sectioned off in between 4 different courses, and so you get your little beginner on, and if you want to continue, you can continue, and so forth. Learn how to DJ on vinyls.
Yes. We're going to talk about that a
Plural.
little later
And you
on.
get to learn how to make beats on Ableton. So.
Yes. Shout out to Abel. Well, I can't say shout out to Ableton Live. They ain't sent us a bag yet, but I love that program. So, yeah, shout out
Don't
to
worry, it'll only take 3 months for them to respond.
Oh,
Shots.
Fired.
see, Nick messing up the bag for us on the podcast. You know,
But it's true.
it
So,
is
I mean,
true. I appreciate the honesty, brother. So let's jump in, man. Go ahead and get started. This was funny to me. We talked about the Bone versus the Migos joint last time, right? We pretty much talked about that, forever. But
Forever?
Bizzy Bone had a video where he was pretty much mad because the Migos were getting that Lazy Bone, who also dropped a diss record. I might add,
It's trash.
it's trash. But for some reason, he got very, very upset on his Instagram Live and pulled out a gun that looks like a revolutionary rifle or some shit like that. And
Red Dead Redemption.
I got,
Mike, did you see the video?
yes, I did.
I got a quick question. Does it match the Civil War crutches?
No,
Okay.
It's
Doesn't matter.
nice in there.
is it in that
Yeah,
era?
it
Was that what he had?
It can
The
be
Civil-
included. We can actually make this a twofer and go back
Okay,
to that
Civil War.
episode and
Okay.
kind of married it.
Make
Yeah.
sure you
Good
watch.
call.
Make sure you watch. Was that the inauguration where he had the guy with the Civil War
Yes,
crutches?
that's what
Yeah.
that was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Nah,
if
that
you-
was
What about
a
the
State of the Union.
State of
State
the
of the
Union.
What
Yeah,
about
yeah,
the
yeah.
boots, Terry?
Definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, watch that
All that.
episode. We talk about the Civil War crutches.
Word. Yeah, I do remember that. That's pretty funny. So anyway, Bizzy Bone pulls out this musket, right? And then you can hear somebody
See,
saying
I didn't
that-
think like. I mean, it wasn't like a.
it really was like a
an
double
assault
barrel.
rifle. It just looked like a hunting shotgun.
It was
That's
like
what
a
looked
double,
like.
like a double barrel shotgun that you hunt with.
It's the
dogs
gun
or
Dick
whatever.
Cheney had.
There you
It
go.
wasn't cool and shiny like the guns everybody else uses.
So it's for
in their
quail hunting.
videos,
He was
that's for
hunting
sure.
quail hunting.
Yeah.
We'll do that. That's fine.
Yeah.
But I think this is hilarious because it kind of shows how out of touch maybe the older rappers are now. Like I don't know what he was thinking that was gonna.
Was that-
I don't know. Jay-Z is older than him, so.
Was that a bar? The older rappers. You
Yeah.
talk about pulling out muskets and carbine repeaters and stuff.
That's why I'm
I don't
glad
know.
you're here. That's why I'm glad you're here. You caught that bar. He did.
Okay.
But it doesn't seem like he's out of. You don't like the bar.
Terry not going.
You ain't going.
Nah.
Doesn't it seem like mad out of touch? Like what was he trying to accomplish with the glory gun?
Fear factor, I guess. I don't know.
Oh, you think that scared them?
I mean, how do you make this? Is what I don't get. Like people make a lot of dumbass threats on social media.
Sure.
So if something were to happen, because you're not going to be the one doing this, obviously, you're just talking shit. But if something happens, then they have a reasonable information in front of them to come to you for that. And if they can't find anybody else, then that's your case.
Yeah. I mean, He's going to turn into a meme now if he already hasn't. I haven't followed it that much, but I'm sure it's going to pop up.
Did you see how surprised he was when his girl said the police was outside?
Whole facial expression, everything changed.
Yeah.
I didn't see this.
It's quite ridiculous. Spoolz, this is quite ridiculous, no?
Yeah, man. I think I just feel like he's probably too old to be doing all that.
That's what I'm talking about.
You know, and for a dude who I always thought could rap pretty well.
Rap his ass off.
Yeah, for
No
sure.
question.
It's Mike's favorite rapper.
And himself is definitely, I would say, a better rapper, like better at rapping than any three of the Migos. I'd say Bizzy
I agree
Bone is.
100%.
Yeah.
I agree 100%.
I know you do.
You hate Art of War, so you're not gonna say
It's trash.
that he rap better.
It's complete trash.
So anyway, I guess I'm done. Go ahead.
He knows. Spoolz knows that Bone can rap better than the Migos as rappers. He knows that.
I don't think anybody does.
I'm not glad this discussion, man. Art of War wasn't trash. It was just bad.
All right.
Tell us how you really feel.
It's just bad. It wasn't trash.
Okay.
Metronome, I don't even know if you care about this, but I don't want to disrespect you. I want to give you the floor. Do you care about Bizzy Bone having a musket and threatening someone?
Not at all.
Okay. All right. Fair enough.
How about
So-
that?
Here's a question. I actually had this question. If you want to talk about it, we can go into some music. Shout out to Memphis, North Memphis, South Memphis. Jay Moore. What do we say? What else am I missing? Jay Moore is in the building as well. County seat. Yeah, county seat. Bill Street. What am I missing?
Orange Mile.
Orange Mile. Shout out to Philly, North Philly, South Philly. We don't want to smoke. Meeknum, we see y'all. Love Champions. Beans, Freeway.
Freeway's beard.
Freeway's Beard, the young guns, Chris and Neef. We don't want any problems with Philly.
I don't think you qualified.
Hey, State Property is on tour low key. It's a small tour. I don't know if y'all knew that.
I didn't see. Did they announce dates?
They hitting a couple. They have maybe 8 or 9 dates.
Okay.
They dropped a freestyle too that was actually kind of good. I always thought Young Chris could rap myself.
Who all is State Property?
It's Chris and Neef, Beans, Freeway. Who am I missing?
PD Crack.
PD Crack. Is that it? Was that pretty much the bulk of?
There's a couple more. There's a couple cats.
I guess the dudes after that really weren't putting out records like Oskino and Sparks. Would they be State Property?
Yeah, they were. They're on some of those.
They didn't really put out a lot though. Or am I wrong? Did Oskino and Sparks put out a lot? Or am I tripping?
I don't know.
I wasn't hip to them.
Okay.
I know they were in State Property, but I didn't really listen to them like that.
Beans had the multiple albums, Freeway. You know what I'm saying? Even the Young Guns dropped 2 or 3 projects, but other than that, I never really rocked with PD Crack like that. So
what?
Yeah, see, that's the same thing my homies say. I didn't rock with PD Crack, so one for PD was cool though.
He was on that Neo joint.
What?
PD Crack.
Oh,
when Neo first came out.
How'd that go?
I mean, it went well for Neo.
And then they tried to change his name to PD.
Yeah, that's stupid.
It didn't really work.
That's interesting.
You gotta take the crack out. We ain't promoting that. But anyway, Metronome, I'm coming to you because I found this interesting. It was an interview with Kid Capri on the Breakfast Club. We all know DJ Kid Capri, legend. He had his little riff with Flex and all that type of stuff. But he said at this point he thinks that DJing has become corny across the board, 100% corny, just due to the access that everyone can, become a DJ fairly quickly, not going through the system, not going through the what you guys do, like actually teaching the skill set. Now he was talking about the iPads and just how people can quickly become a DJ or have premixes and just show up somewhere and hit it and it goes. I'd be curious to hear your thoughts because you are very, very active, you know what I'm saying, in terms of from a DJ standpoint outside of the teaching. And it's something that I think have pretty much mastered at this point. So what do you feel about that comment in terms of him just saying it's become corny at this point?
So we spoke briefly before.
Yep.
I haven't seen the interview, so I don't know exactly what he said. I would be curious to see, like kind of what he's referencing specifically. But just basically on the topic alone, I think that I can understand his perspective, and that's kind of one of the reasons that I opened up Deckademics was to the accessibility factor is great because now more people can get into it, and then potentially it can lead somewhere. There's going to be plenty of young talent that's going to generate from that. And we've actually seen that both through the school, but also people we know, younger cats like, Nico Flores and Matsu and all these guys that are doing really, really great stuff. We're able to get into it because of some of that accessibility. But at the same time, I think the motivation for why people get into it is kind of the X factor. And you see a lot of people that they don't really have any interest in kind of mastering the art. They just want to, look good or I don't know, be the main chunk of the party or whatever.
He mentioned
it
that
is.
as well, by the way. Yep.
And that is, I think, happening. But at the same time, I think it's our jobs to kind of help kind of curate and pass along the tradition. I think that's kind of important. But I don't know.
How do you handle that? Like as just someone who teaches and who owns a school, when kids come in and you can sense that might be why they're doing this.
Yeah.
How do you handle that as a teacher?
Well, I'll answer that in a second, but I think the other factor is that a lot of people, and this goes for people that just attend parties and functions where they see a DJ, when you see a computer now, you assume that there's a lack of skill. So this happens a lot where people just think that the computer is doing all the work, and that isn't really the case in a lot of situations. But because of that, we get a lot of people in that come in and don't realize the amount of work that they're actually going to have to put in to kind of master the craft. So typically with students, we can kind of break them down if they have some of these preconceived notions that it's going to be easy. So we can kind of that will sort itself out. But at the same time, you do see a lot of ego from young people. Like, yeah, I've been DJing like 3 months. I don't really need to learn how to do this. I shut those people down right away. Sean's seen it.
I've heard the phone calls.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I mean that's just kind of part of what you deal with. I mean, people they don't really want to put in the effort. And that's why the motto is you can't download practice, because everything wants everything to be so immediate now. You just get a little controller, get an internet connection, download some music, you're the star. It's actually funny. You see it I see it a lot on Facebook and stuff like that, where it's like somebody be like, I need a DJ, and everybody just like tags their next door neighbor who just started like last week.
Yeah,
it's just
he's
funny.
clearly a DJ already.
Well, celebrities do it.
Yeah,
too.
Right.
I think that doesn't help that phenomenon either, right? Like, you see Paris Hilton DJing a party. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, I don't think she's probably not a DJ. I'm guessing. Like,
Shaq is one of the few people I would say that is hip hop enough,
He did
but
it
has
back in the
also
day.
shown himself practicing and working on it. You know what I mean? Like, people try to clown on Shaq, but I'm like, Shaq is more hip hop than a lot of the people that are out today from an actual being a hip hop person.
He has the most successful album from an NBA player.
No question. No question. Like, we talking about a dude that had RZA, Method Man. Like, all these dudes is on his first album.
Primo.
Yeah, big.
he
You can't
outsold
stop the rain.
Kobe's
It's
album?
crazy.
I don't think he did.
Kobe's album was trash.
What about Ron Artest?
I'm cool on Ron
What about
Artest.
that Jules album?
I'm cool on Jules and
What about
Iverson.
Allen
I'm
Iverson?
cool on all of that. Dame,
Damian Lillard.
Dame got some bars.
He can't rap. Dame can.
Dame got some bars. But I'm cool on the rest of that. Terry, are you pretty much in agreement with that for the most part? Because I feel like they're preserving the actual culture. Like, I think that's why I love Deckademics. Like, I've been back and forth about actually doing it. We talked about that.
Yeah.
Come through.
But are you pretty much along the same lines with that as well?
Yeah, I think what it is a lot of people want to be seen kind of close to what he's saying, as far as they just want to be known rather than knowing the actual art of it.
Right.
And it's funny because Portlandia, have y'all ever watched that? They had an episode on there where it was about my DJ night. So everybody in the whole town like had a DJ night and they're promoting it and shit like that. And if you're familiar with Portlandia, you know where I'm going with it, because it's like this weird comedy back and forth about the DJ night, and everybody's like running away from people because they got this DJ night they want you to come to or whatnot.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. But back to what you were saying, it's just getting away from the skill and actually having an ear for music. It's just people want to just play whatever. They're not necessarily conscious on the type of music that they're putting together, the energy of the set, transitions, things like that. And there's a lot that goes into that, which is what he's talking about they do at Deckademics as far as helping people reach that pinnacle.
That's what's up. Yeah, I just love what they do for that reason. You know what I'm saying? Because I know people that have dibbled and dabbled into it, and they're the people that are like, man, I had no idea. I didn't realize you had to do this. I didn't realize you had to do that. I thought you could just pick songs and play them. I never paid attention to the crowd. You know what I mean?
They learn when they come.
All the education you need this year.
You'll get humbled. I mean, but that's really with anything that you're really trying to participate in. If you want to be a chef, you know, you're going to have to put in a lot of hours. You know, if you want to be a great producer, you're going to have to put in a lot of hours. I mean, I just think that applies across the board. And we're just trying to give people a space and the knowledge. So instead of taking 10 or 15 years, we can, you know, kind of crunch it down and make it linear so you understand these steps. And that's really, you know, that's really what we're trying to help facilitate.
That's what's up. That's what's up.
But shouts to 𝐀𝐃𝐒𝐃. He actually has kind of helped mentored one of my ex-students.
That's love.
Cat that graduated, young dude, and he's been doing his thing. So Jazzy Jeff as well. So it's nice to see people that we've taught move on beyond Deckademics and start to, you know, deal with some of these legends, because it kind of makes us realize that what we're doing is actually working.
Those two names, those names that you mentioned, like, you don't throw those around. Like, those aren't names that you just throw around. Like, those are two OGs. Right. Like, I saw Jeff live one time and my jaw dropped. I couldn't believe it. Like, him and DJ Dummy, those are the two dudes I saw where I was like, this is amazing.
Dummy's a monster.
Yeah, like, and Boogie Blind when we were at the 𝐴𝐻𝐻 𝗀𝐻 joint. Like,
shouts to Boogie.
Yeah, like the art. Yeah, shouts to Boogie. He definitely rocked with us heavy that night. But the actual art form, it comes out in those guys, a skill set. Mm-hmm. And they were like stunting. Like, it's to the point where they were just stunting. It's easy. It's clockwork at that point. So,
and that's where the technology does limit people, because some of the gear you literally would never ever be able to attain that skill set.
I see.
And so the accessibility, again, it can create an avenue where you can develop an interest.
Yep.
And from there, if you're interested, you can, you know, kind of figure it out and put your time and effort into it. But so many people don't, because the motivation is something else. It's not about the skill set. It's not about the craft. It's about, you know, looking fly or
we talk about instant gratification so much on this podcast, right. And that ranges from music to what you're talking about, you know, from a DJing standpoint. That's just the era that we're in. Everybody wants to be famous quickly as possible, right? So they can just become that person, and then they can live through Instagram, through followers, through whatever. So
then, like, even like somebody like Spoolz, who's done cuts on a lot of different shit.
Yeah,
you know, he's not worried about being in the forefront. He wants to pretty much showcase his skill. You know what I'm saying? Because he's one of the dopest cutters that I know.
That's a fact.
You've got like cuts on over 100 songs.
Thanks,
probably.
Man.
That's a fact.
Yeah, probably. It's been a while, I think.
Well, you just did Fax Joint, right?
Yeah, I did, actually, with Mr. Joe Harvey, who's sitting right over here.
Shout out to Joe Harvey in the building as well. Yes, he's here with us also.
Yeah, man. It was just always about, for me, just being part of the song. It wasn't about trying to stand out. I mean, because that's, you know, I don't know. That comes through in what you're making, I think, too. You know what I mean? So,
right.
And that goes for if you're scratching or if you're just doing like the hook and you're singing or doing, you know what I mean? Something else. It's, I don't know. To me, that's important. You know, not about being the most
just contribute.
Popular. Exactly. Yeah. It's being part of a team. So, you know what I mean? So
I've always admired anybody that does cuts, scratches.
Come learn, Mike.
Yeah, I need to get that education.
I need Mike to come take the 𝐶𝐻𝐻 classes first.
I do.
We've been talking about that too.
Yeah, you need to.
I'm probably about a 65-70% efficiency rate for 𝐶𝐻𝐻. I got about 30%.
See,
Terry,
I was gonna say, as soon as you said that, you're just like those students. We see you come in.
I'm realistic though. If I'm lower and y'all tell me,
Sean's
I'm not
gonna
fight
shut you down.
That's cool. I ain't gonna fight you.
Terry and I made a mixtape together.
I remember that
in 2012.
We did,
right? Yep. That was a long time ago.
Did you guys both cut on that?
He did majority of the cuts.
Yeah.
Okay.
I kind of gave him idea because he's way better at cutting than I am. So
Spoolz is cold at that.
We pretty much just dug some records up for samples and stuff like that. And I was like, I think this will sound good on that. Yep. And he pretty much executed it.
He did a lot of the blends.
Yeah.
It was a cut camp sampler.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Remember that?
We should do some new old head, some curation from you guys, where you guys do something similar to that.
That would be
That
dope.
would be dope.
That
Of
would
some
be
newer,
fun.
newer music. And
Yeah,
stuff.
that would be dope because I know all three of you guys would have it, especially all three of y'all would have a dope ear for that. But like you said, for the podcast, that would be interesting. I'd be curious to see how that goes.
Also, too, disclaimer for the consumers out there that come and watch us DJ. If you want to hear a song,
With Jay
and
Moore
it's
at?
not one of something that's kind of going with the flow or whatnot, and we might kind of just dismiss you like, well, I don't have it or whatnot. You saying you can download it off YouTube is not going to make anybody do it because we're not on here downloading songs off YouTube to play for you.
Talk that talk.
Generally,
man.
we show it with the songs that we already have.
Uh-huh.
And if there's not a Wi-Fi available and it's not in the record pool, then we're probably not going to get it.
So I've never been DJed in clubs and stuff like that or bars much ever. But is that what people are doing now?
Yes.
Oh my goodness.
There's a code of conduct that people don't understand, and it's interesting. So if people were on our side of that experience, it would
Right.
totally shift how they kind of perceive just how you talk to people, and yeah, it's bad.
I saw Nick at Coach's, and I was actually standing behind him, and I got a chance to see what it feels like for someone to come up because Jay Moore was still in St. Louis.
Mm-hmm.
So like the floodgates were open, right? So somebody comes up and she's like, "Hey, do you have whatever?" And I see it in his face as he's multitasking, and he's like, "Oh yeah, okay, cool." And it's like I can't remember if you fit it in or not. You know what I'm talking about? That the last time he probably don't remember, but I think he fit it. He found a way to fit it in. But the frustration, I saw it because he had to be pulled away from what he actually was doing to listen to her ask about a song that probably was nowhere near what he was actually spinning at the time. So
If it's not going to fit, though, we're not going to make it fit.
I think he made it. I think
It had to be a good selection then.
yeah, I think he made it work because it wasn't a trash selection, but I just saw him get pulled away from his vibe and his element. To y'all point,
it's also the approach, right? Like
Yep.
if she comes up or whoever it is comes up and waits and makes eye contact and like is waiting for me to address them, but they clearly see that we're working, we're
Yep.
doing something. I'm not just standing there pumping my fist.
Yeah.
And then they just start talking. It's like, that they're clearly not even aware of the situation that I'm actually involved in something. So if they approach properly, then I have no problem with it. Although it is no requests on Tuesdays.
Well,
shouts to Jay Moore and his rules.
if you don't have etiquette, he definitely will shut you
So-
down 100%.
My only
Indeed.
experience with that is at weddings. So so Nick taught me how to DJ like from the beginning, right? I remember first wedding I did, first several weddings I did just being super duper nervous and like not wanting to like piss anyone off or anything. But over time, you just realize it's just gonna happen. Like someone's gonna come up to you. Like there's just assholes out there. You know what I mean? It's just gonna happen. And Jay Moore was actually with me one of the last weddings I DJ'd, and we got to experience some of that. It was just people are incredible, man.
Yeah, because that one song that they want you to play makes the whole night. Don't think about the other 100 or 200 songs I just played.
Yeah.
That one song
Yeah.
is what would have made the whole night.
For this person in particular, I'm thinking of it was Talking Heads while it was in the middle of playing Motown and everyone was dancing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
That's
we're here
usually how it
burning down
happens.
the house, right then and there.
Well, at least it wasn't a tip drill like at a wedding that Jay Moore did with DJ Light Blue. That was it's a great story.
Somebody
That's
asked for
awesome.
tip drill?
Sometime at a wedding. Yeah,
I'm not mad at that.
Weddings get wild, man.
We see you, Lone.
I feel like it just goes to the culture of where we are in general too. Like to Nick's point, I don't know if it's as much a DJ thing as it is just a time period and place. Now it's like we've been talking about. It's like it's cool to be a DJ,
Right.
and so everybody has this idea of what it is. So yeah, you just got a laptop up there. You can just pull a song up and play it, right?
Right.
So
I don't want this to be the DJ episode.
No, it's
'cause I
all
wanna talk
good.
about it, but I do want to say that I'd been planning on opening Deckademics from back as far as like 2000, probably 9 or 10. Finally got it opened officially at the end of 2013, going into 14. But it was probably the fall of 2013. I was at Target, and there was a cereal. There's somebody checking out in front of us, and there was this dad that was with his son, probably like 2-3-year-old kid, and put a cereal box on the conveyor belt, and on the back of the cereal box had like a little kid DJ thing, and I was like, oh yeah, I got to get this open ASAP. But, you know, because that's crazy. You know, it's crazy that you're marketing this to children.
Yeah.
And I could see that shift was already in motion. So and
it's going to continue.
What a time to be alive.
Indeed.
That's what's up. Let's talk about some more music. Again, shout out to Memphis, shout out to Philly. Spoolz gave me a pretty good list of projects that are scheduled to come out, artists that are scheduled to release for 2019.
Okay. I heard that before you go into that, is did you guys see where somebody leaked that Kendrick and Schoolboy have projects coming out?
Yeah, it was like
Really?
a Sony list or something that came out.
Okay.
And they had
I didn't
to
know if that was the same
take
one.
it down.
Mm-hmm. That's awesome.
Yeah.
They're scheduled for 19.
What was a list of different artists I think that Sony had in the lineup to come out in 2019?
Was this together?
And Kendrick,
or separate?
no, I think they
it
were
was
separate
separate.
projects. But
Together
Kendrick
would be
and
stupid.
Schoolboy showed up on the list, and then the list was removed
Yeah.
because I don't know if y'all follow what's his name on Twitter. Who's the head of TDE?
Top
Punch?
Dog.
Top Dog.
Punch?
Top Dog, yeah,
Okay.
Top Dog. He had tweeted a while ago that keep listening to Kendrick's last joint because there's nothing coming, and then for something like that to surface is kind of
He's
fucking
due,
up their rollout.
He's due though because the
He
Black
is
Panther
due.
soundtrack pretty much got him through this past.
But
I'm
he
saying-
hasn't dropped since like
What was
What,
damn
March? February?
February
of 2017.
17. Yeah, it's about
Yeah.
time.
March.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I mean, technically, if he's the executive producer of Black Panther, that wasn't considered an album,
I guess.
even though they
Not
weren't all
really.
his songs.
I'm gonna go ahead and say no
No,
because I didn't care. I didn't listen. I didn't look at that as like, oh, cool, Kendrick dropped something. It was just like, oh, this is the soundtrack that he's curating.
He was all over that mug though.
he was.
He was
Yeah,
all over that
but-
mug. But I see what you. I
But
see
it
his
wasn't
point.
his.
It didn't
thing.
feel like a Kendrick
It wasn't
record.
his record.
Yeah.
You know, it wasn't a Good Kid. It wasn't a Section 80. It wasn't a. You know,
I'm not mad at
wasn't
that.
that, but-
yeah,
What I'm just saying is he wasn't absent
Right.
last year.
I get
You know
it.
what I'm
I
saying?
get
It's
it.
true.
yeah. This will, to Lone's point though, for an actual release from him, it's
Yeah.
time.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's time. So, I would definitely.
I'm
I'll be
extra,
looking forward to that.
curious what his sound would be like because he switched it up every time. Really.
That's why, like, for him, Outkast always did that the best for me. Like, you never knew where they were going to go, but it always was dope. So, for him to be able to pull that out, to me, it took balls to put out Butterfly. So, I'd be curious to see what he does now.
Some country western. You know, like.
See?
Hawaiian surf music, Kendrick.
See?
You know, I mean,
Career
we don't know.
suicide.
No, we do know. It's definitely not country music. Shout out to country music, though. Bluegrass, we see y'all.
We ain't gotta be scared. No shout out to country music.
Hey, country music has great stories.
Oh, man.
So here's a list. Q-Tip was on there, which I really would be.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm with that.
I definitely would want to hear that.
Underrated producer.
We
Q-Tip
Definitely.
is.
Big time.
Facts. Talk that talk. We in agreement on that? That would be a good one?
Absolutely.
Okay.
I'm with it.
Missy Elliott.
I'm with that, too.
Nay?
She's way overdue.
Yeah.
See?
I'm not gonna like run. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna like run out to buy it
Okay.
like I would
I'm
Q-Tips, but I would be
curious,
looking forward to
but-
hearing something from it. You
She
know?
always was
Yeah.
bad creative.
That's what I mean. Like, she's overdue. She hasn't put anything out in how long?
It's been a long time.
like,
Yeah.
I do like Missy a lot though, but
has it been over a decade since she's put a
Cl-
project
think
out?
Probably
her last
close.
joint might have been under construction. Maybe.
No, she dropped something after that.
Did she?
Yeah, I think she dropped something after that.
I'm excited for the Q-Tip more than Missy because Q-Tip, what he just did with, Tribe a couple of years ago
Facts.
was really good.
Yeah.
So if it's, he's still sharp, he's still
Yeah.
really good. So
To his point, Metronome's point, he doesn't get the P's that he deserves as a producer. I
Does
agree
not
100%. And it's funny, we were talking about an article from Rap Genius where Andre 3000 talked about he doesn't feel the pulse of music anymore in terms of
Was it music or hip hop?
just hip hop. I'm sorry, hip hop, not music. I don't misquote him. Of hip hop, and he talked about how none of his peers, the people that he grew up with, are thriving musically, right? And there's no inspiration. He doesn't see anything that's drawing him in. But I thought about when Phife passed away, and he was at the memorial, and he said they were thinking about doing an Outkast Tribe album.
Yeah.
And
I
I'm
saw
like,
that,
yo,
yeah.
that would have been crazy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, to think about Q-Tip being as sharp as he is now, coming off the Tribe album, what that would have sounded like 3 or 4 years ago. and had they got together. I think that would have been stupid.
I'm the only thing about this, and I'm a huge Andre fan, right? But outside of a few verses that he's had, he hasn't really put any music out in a really long time outside of.
Well, he had issues with the label though, right? Like they weren't allowing him to release.
I didn't know that.
Stuff.
I think there was something with him and Big Boy where there were
yeah.
certain songs and things that weren't allowed to be done because of their contracts.
Yeah.
Yeah. I did not know that.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that's why Big Boy's been putting out all the solo stuff
I
because he
see.
can't record on record with him. At least that's what I'd read.
Oh,
years
well.
ago.
Well, okay.
Which really sucks because I was having this conversation with a friend of mine, and he was to the point about the Andre article. And he's like, man, nobody would care if Outkast dropped the album right now. I said, are you serious?
Please.
He's like, it wouldn't move units. I said, are you serious?
Right. Immediately.
Who said this?
I ain't gonna put him on blast.
Man, it takes one single from Outkast
I said,
to turn
he's a
the
clown
whole
for that.
tide in hip hop right now.
I said they're gonna move units immediately. The internet is going to go nuts if they drop an album.
This will be bananas.
It will be stupid.
Do I know this person?
You don't know this person.
They would
He don't
sell
know
out a tour.
Immediately.
Nick was like, he can't come to coaches anymore.
I just play nothing but Outkast every
Dude,
time I saw him.
he's like, man, I don't see it, bro. I don't think they could thrive. I said, fam.
Shit.
Big Boy has stayed. But the thing is Big Boy has stayed relevant. You know, he's put out a lot of music with. He even had a Fantagram project, which
Which was real different but good in a kind of a good like I was there for that. Like I was cool with that.
The Big Graham stuff.
the Big Graham. His projects have been, kind of. They haven't been my favorite, but there've been joints on all of them that I've liked.
Hey, Boomerverse was dope. Kel-Jill, that record was
Yeah.
hard.
Oh,
with
yeah,
Killer
that was
Mike.
Sir Lucius Left Foot was
on there.
dope to me.
Yep.
Absolutely, yeah.
Corrupt, that's a good joint. Yep. Like he had some heat. Sir Lucius had some heat too. So he's
Your DJ ain't no DJ. He just hit that Insta replay.
Big
I
Boy
see.
catches a lot of flack though for not being as talented as I think he is. You know, like you listen to a lot of those old Outkast records, and it's not like, I mean, it's kind of similar to Q-Tip and Fife. Like a lot of people just shit on Fife in a way, but I think that there's a lot more balance in both of those groups than are given credit for.
my guy
Absolutely.
DJ Nate Jeezy in out in Maryland. We've had this argument since we were in college, and I always tell him, just because I'm not saying that Big Boy is good as 3 Stacks, that doesn't mean I'm dissing Big Boy. Those are two different things. And he thinks that it's closer than I do. I don't think it's Fonte Big Pooh. I don't think it's that.
You had to go there, right?
I fool with Big Pooh though, but come on, man. Fonte is amazing, right? Fife and Q-Tip.
Hey,
I think
Big
Fife,
Pooh's last album was
RPM.
dope, though.
RPM is dope. Shouts to Big
with
Pooh.
Focus. Shout out to Pooh with Focus. That was okay.
Pooh drops a lot of solid music. Let me
Yes,
just
he
put that
does.
out there. Let me
Yes,
just
he
put
does.
that out
he's
there.
not
I'm a fan.
trash.
I
Yeah.
like.
But
Big
to your
Pooh
point,
a
Fonte,
lot. He's
though.
dope.
But to
Yeah.
your point, that's the same argument. People, I mean, when you have a group that is as powerful as Little Brother or
Yeah.
Outkast, there's always going to be a and then the other guy.
Like hiding places. Like, come on, man. When
They-
it was Fonte and
They could have
Elzai
just
going
cut.
back,
They
he
could
didn't need to be on there.
They could have cut Pooh off that one,
Right? That's all I'm saying.
He didn't have to rap first.
He didn't have to rap on that one. But like Fife actually was dope though.
Here's a story about that. Did you know that verse was actually supposed to be a trade-off between him and Dilla?
What?
Oh, wow, I didn't know that.
For
Hiding Places.
no.
You mean instead of Elzai?
No, it was going to
what?
be Dilla and Pooh and Elzai and Fonte,
Oh, wow.
Oh,
allegedly.
I never knew that.
I think I read this. I read. Hopefully, I'm not fucking this up, but I'm pretty sure I read this in an article like 7-8 years ago, and I was like, "Oh wow, no wonder that's." I think it was Pooh talking about it too. You know, that's why it was like that. And then-
Wow.
so think about that.
That would have
I think
taking
Pooh
that-
and Dilla back and forth actually would have been a.
It would have been kind of cool.
because Elzai and Fonte, man, that's high level rap on that record. That's
Oh,
high
yeah.
level rap.
I'm out doing the damn thing like Beavers.
See?
Shout out to Fonte.
Shout out to Fonte, man. We need to get him on here, man. Fonte, come mess with us.
We need to do a emergence of the Questlove Supreme New Old Heads.
Man,
That'd be nice.
we don't know what the budget's talking about yet. But we take y'all out to eat or something. Wayne is
Shit,
supposed to be.
I'll fly to Philly.
We can do that. No, we can't fly to Philly because it's a no-fly zone. Lil Wayne is supposed to be dropping something else.
That's cute.
I'm cool. Spoolz, where you at?
G-Dat remixes.
Far, I'd say less interested than Missy Elliott by far. You know, as far if we're putting these on a scale,
Yeah. Less than Missy?
Lil Wayne. It's like Lil Wayne, Missy Elliott, 𝐀𝐿.
There we go.
So what song do you think Swiss Beats is gonna remix that
From the 90s or from the 2000s? I don't know, man. He might do.
What about classic? You know, remember that Rakim, Kanye, Nas joint? Classic.
Oh, when they did the graffiti.
He gonna
Yeah.
remix that same beat?
Yeah, he'll probably do
It's
that.
gonna have to be something.
And I'm clowning, but Swiss Beats is actually pretty good. So.
Yeah, he is.
His album-
but-
He's got his moments.
Yeah.
He does. He does have his moments. Yes, he
Not
does have
everything
his.
he does is
He
very
has his
good.
non-moments
Facts.
as well,
Yeah.
in my opinion. But
It'd have to be more like a dancey song. I think
Okay.
that's too close to the underground now.
Shout out to G-Dep as well, because people clearly, they burying G-Dep's legacy, man. They,
It's almost like G-Dep didn't exist.
That's
after
what
this
I'm
damn
saying.
song.
I just
man.
want when I go out, like I want to see the look on people's faces if a DJ plays the G-Dep
actual
version
one?
versus the specially delivery remix.
Somebody
I
whatever it's
actually
called.
did a hip hop night. I played the remix with Ghostface on it.
Yeah.
somebody gonna walk up.
What were the faces like? They weren't paying attention.
I mean, people were still moving. It's all with how you kind of do it. You know what I'm saying? It's not.
I wonder if people thought it was a remix of the Lil Wayne project.
They probably
There
did.
are people I
Yeah.
believe that thinks that. Like I could see somebody coming up to Metronome and being like, "Bro, why aren't you playing the original? Like, bro, why aren't you playing the original?"
I
Come
like
on,
the
man.
bros.
That's
I
the
put them both
that's the
together
era
though,
we-
so it might have sounded like it was one song.
That's the era we in now. Everybody that comes up to Nick says, "Bro, will you play this, bro?"
Wow.
Anyway,
That's a lie.
what up? What else? What about Black Star? I'm in for Black Star.
It's not going to happen.
Not gonna happen.
Oh, here y'all go. See? Why, man?
that's-
Metronome, why not? Why is it not going to happen?
This is like Lauren showing up on time.
Is it that bad?
Man, this is like Jay Electronica dropping an album.
Metronome, talk to me, man. Why do you have zero faith in Black Star?
Well,
You said it fast now.
no,
so
for one, I mean, I believe so. He did that joint with Ferrari Shepherd a couple years ago, year and a half, 2 years ago, and I thought that was kind of the end of a musical run for him, at least for a while.
Well, he said he was retiring.
Yeah, exactly. He said he was retiring. He's also canceled 2 shows in Indianapolis, or 2 shows have been canceled. Maybe it wasn't.
Oh, word?
It wasn't,
I know
Mos
certain
Def.
people that have specific feelings about that because they were supposed to open for him.
Yes.
Yeah.
Me
You wanna-
too. I know 4 people.
Hashtag me too.
wow,
I know 2 people
Hashtag.
in this room.
Hashtag.
that sucks. I was
sucks,
not
yeah.
aware of that. That's trash if that's the case.
I just don't have a lot of faith that it's going to happen. Of course, I would definitely check it out. You know, if it did,
I
I'd be
would-
very excited.
I would want to know who the producer is.
True.
You know, like
If it's high tech,
if
I'm
it's high
in.
tech, it'd be dope. You know,
Yeah.
it'd be really dope if they got like 88 keys on it too, and you know,
Yeah.
some
I'm off high tech. I'm a high tech fan.
Mad
so.
Lib.
Madlib would be dope.
Speaking of Mad
What if it
Lib,
was all produced by Metro Boomin?
I would be interested, but I wouldn't have faith. I'd be kind of on Nick's level right here. I'd be like,
Yeah.
oh, well, I guess I'll listen.
yeah, y'all.
I'd give it a really good listen. I bet that'd be dope.
I don't know.
Zaytoven, Black Star.
Yeah, Umi said.
Hey, people really be saying Zaytoven is the best producer out here.
I've heard that.
It's because he composes.
That shit's crazy.
Composed.
That's just crazy.
Could you imagine like Umi says with like
Zaytoven
trap
behind it.
trap snares? Umi says.
I mean, he
like,
can play
come
the
on, man.
piano and shit very well,
Oh.
but
You can.
Yeah, he's like a musician. You know what I mean? Like
that
he's-
doesn't make him the best producer.
No, I
I
agree.
respect his musicianship though.
And I
will
have
say
seen
that.
some interviews with him, and he seems like a pretty humble, normal guy.
I
too.
agree.
Yeah.
I'm not mad at that, but I'm cool on him producing for Black Star.
I am too.
What else we got?
Freddie Gibbs and Mad Lib. I'm 100% ready for
Absolutely.
this.
Yes.
Pinata was incredible.
Yes.
Pinata was absolutely incredible, no doubt
I
about it.
don't. Gibbs actually, to me, in my opinion, has not dropped a dud yet.
That's a fact. I would agree with that.
Freddie was okay.
Yeah.
I really like
I
Freddie.
didn't,
I
I
liked
didn't think
Freddie,
it was
though.
great. I thought
But
it
Dud,
had its
though.
moments.
I
It
was
was just-
not huge on Shadow of a Doubt.
Yeah,
I wasn't huge on it. I liked Freddie better than Shadow of a Doubt. Actually.
Freddie was just trapped out. It was
Yeah.
it was.
I think that's what it was meant to be too.
Yeah, absolutely.
I think I'm opposite of what Spoolz said. Shadow of a Doubt versus Freddie, because I think Shadow of a Doubt had to join with Black Thought. We talked about that a while
Yes.
back. He had a couple good features on there. West Coast features. Well, I can't remember. I have to pull the list up.
Freddie
but
had some of the best album artwork
Oh my
with
God.
Teddy P.
Yeah.
You know what's
and
also
interludes.
Actually, you know what? I like this. I like the shit he did with Currency and Alchemist better than
Fetty.
both of those.
Fetty.
Yeah.
I liked Freddie's parts a lot.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not a huge Currency fan. I don't think
Right.
I don't think he's whack or anything. I'm just
He's
not a
not
huge fan.
trash.
But Freddie Gibbs was like the standout part for me. Like, and we already talked about this. The one thing I will say about Freddie that's interesting is that his style is very particular, and he doesn't really switch it up that much. But he still fits in all these different lanes.
I think Mad Lib, the joint he did with Mad Lib was the one time where I heard him deviate, I guess, a little bit more than the normal on some of those beats. I don't think he sounded like he did on Cold Day. What's the mixtape name?
Cold Day in
Cold Day in
Hell.
Hell. Yep. I don't think he sounded like that.
Cold Day in Hell. What are the other ones?
I'm gonna pull it up. On
He's got a
Spotify.
lot.
Straight Killer, No Filler.
Straight Killer, No Filler.
Yeah.
That's early. Yeah.
And I wasn't really a huge
Cold
fan
Day
of
in
that.
Hell. Yeah.
Straight Killer, No Filler. I liked a handful of cuts, but I didn't like them all.
DJ Drama did one of those.
Um,
Those are mixtapes.
but
like even on
But even the Fetty stuff, Alchemist and Derringer's production was Derringer. Did he?
I think it was
no,
all
I think it was
Alchemist.
all
Alchemist.
Alchemist, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so I mean that's similar Mad Lib style, you know.
Yep.
But I don't know. To me, he raps the same on everything. But I'm okay with it.
like he had the You Only Live Twice that had that joint on there that was cold. Alexis.
Oh,
Right?
wait.
Like
with like crushed glass
which project?
on it.
Which
and all
project
that.
is this?
that was
That's a
called
different one.
You Only Live Twice.
That's a dope project. I played
That
the hell out of
project
that.
is dope. So he's been very, very consistent. If we want to
sure.
keep it a buck. So him and Madlib together again,
Yeah, that's
100%. Yeah, I'm there for that.
That's probably my top of the list.
Nas, there was a
Yeah.
Nas is on there.
he
John,
hate
how do you
Nas.
feel?
Yeah, we already know.
Yeah, he hate Nas.
And Nick's gonna win the vinyl too.
Yeah, he probably win again. Swizz and RZA are supposed to be involved.
Ooh, that's scary.
I don't know about that, man. RZA's like one of my favorites as I was coming up.
This ain't 96 Resident.
But he felt, but this ain't that. And I don't know what 2017, 18, 19, 20 RZA sounds like because I don't know how long they've been working on it.
Bong,
But
bong.
I don't know what that's gonna sound like, man. With Nas now, like
He
that
need
worries
He
me.
need to get with Benny and the Griselda camp on that.
And he's
Who
a-
Nas? Oh, that'd be
Yeah.
nasty.
Nas over some Derringer would be really dope.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
That'd be
Or
incredible.
Alchemist or Mad
Or like
Lib
Big
stuff,
Ghost
or-
LTD or Limited.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Or some of these other cats out here that make really dope, grimy beats.
Let me
He'd
ask
be
y'all.
dope over Knowledge as well too.
He definitely
Yeah.
would be dope over Knowledge. Let me ask y'all this. This was presented to me. Now, this has been presented to me by multiple people who I deem credible, right, in terms of their music opinions. They're telling me that I am slightly overrating the Griselda movement because I'm fiending for something that takes me back to the 90s.
Well, I don't think you qualified.
That's what I told him. What is there something there, or am I just hyped because I think Conway is an absolute fool. Let's get that out there. I don't care what we trying to reach back for or whatever. That doesn't apply to me. I think Conway is an absolute fool.
I'll argue it. I think there's merit to it.
You think it is?
I think there is a little bit. I think to me, Griselda is what Wu-Tang could have been if Wu-Tang continued.
Okay.
And like the beats are dope, the raps are really dope, but it's grimy. It's grimy. It's not overproduced. It's dusty. You know, it's got all those elements, but it's modern. You know, so everybody that likes that style, especially people that are our age or a little bit older that grew up on Wu-Tang,
Yep.
we want that. And, you know, to me, they do modern day Wu-Tang better than what modern day Wu-Tang does.
Okay.
I agree with that.
Yeah.
I also,
I
I think that they're a lot. My closer comparison personally is I think they're the Mobb Deep.
I was going to go Mobb Deep as well,
That's
too.
what
but
I was gonna go Mobb Deep. Yeah. Yeah.
and I fuck with them heavy.
Yeah.
I'm in on Griselda, but they keep telling me that they're like, man, I think you just gassed them a little bit. I'm like, okay, I respect your opinion, but I just really like they crew, like I really do. Spoolz, jump in.
Yeah. No, I'm a big fan as well and have been for a while. And I agree with what you guys said, like, well, to a degree. I don't think they're like the new Wu-Tang. You can tell they're heavily influenced by like Ray and Ghost.
No question.
But as far as like what Sean said about them being better than like what Wu-Tang could have been or whatever. Like I think they're like a whole. To me they're an awesome blend of like some old and some new elements as well. Big on like the fashion shit. They have people like copying their styles and shit at this point. You know what I mean? Like trying to look like them, trying to sound like them, like the whole shit. You know what I mean?
Which
They
is
did
what
something
Wu had.
very unique.
That was
Their merch sells
Yeah.
out
like
damn
that.
near immediately.
Yeah, it's crazy, man. So I guess the question I have is like, what are you supposed to like then?
Right.
Yeah.
And what's that sound?
Yeah.
I think
Right.
what it is the nostalgia factor, because I think I remember mentioning to one of y'all about listening to Benny
Yeah.
and feeling like I was in like 96, 97. You know what I'm saying?
We were talking about his album. Yep.
But it was a more modernized sound of that
For sure.
same feeling that I had back
Yeah.
then. And I mean, his raps aren't boring. I don't think any of their raps are boring.
I
as far
agree.
as
There's-
Benny
and
and Conway and
West Side Gun.
West Side Gun. I do kind of prefer Benny over Conway and West Side Gun right now, with a close second to West Side Gun. But that's just my preference. But I do understand that nostalgia factor as far as the sound that they're giving out. But it is, to me, it's a more polished. It's not as grimy as the Wu-Tang sound was. It's kind of like, it's grimy, but it's more polished or more crisp, so to speak.
It's also interesting though, because I think a lot of people there's different perspectives, and people think that if you don't always listen to some people constantly want something new, right? Like that's their personal approach to whatever they gravitate towards. Like if you listen to Amy Winehouse, she was, when she was alive, rest in peace, she was putting out great records. It doesn't matter that it sounded like old soul music, So
Right, that's the part.
Or Charles Bradley's the same way.
It's the exact same way, man. Leaf Fields. I mean,
great. Good music's good music.
Adrian Young.
Exactly. Sharon Jones, people like that. Like, rest in peace.
That's
again.
only
Like,
done in
that's-
hip hop though. It's like, oh, you're trying to sound old.
And I don't get that, because to me,
either.
like, so what? This is what comes through to me, and this is why I like them. I mean, obviously, there's that dark production sound that Derringer has, but not only that, but it's like this juxtaposition. This is what caught me initially of Derringer sampling like these really sweet soul songs that I would really like normally, just if I were listening to music, with these dudes rapping about real grimy shit.
That's a fact.
Real grimy shit, but like not in a way that anybody else rhymes about it, and you can tell there's a lot of time and effort put into it. That's what stands out to me about these dudes. So if someone has like a problem with that, and if you're saying that that's an old head thing, then like to me, like I would own that. Like, yep, that's important to me.
Well, everybody's
You know what I'm
nowadays
saying?
anyway. So
That's and that was the point I was trying to make. It was maybe initially, in my opinion, it was nostalgia. I'll admit that. Maybe it was nostalgia up front.
Maybe a thing that grabbed you to be like, oh.
Yeah, that's
Right.
okay, fine. That's that. I'll admit that. But as I continued to listen, it became more of what Spoolz just said and less about nostalgia. It's just like, yo, these dudes are just actually dope. Like, forget all the other stuff. They just actually
it's
putting
okay
out
to
dope
not
like
gonna
product.
something
lie,
because
dude.
based off nostalgia, though. I think.
No, that's what I'm saying.
And I
that-
agree. When I first heard West Side Gun, I'd never heard anybody rap like him.
Yeah.
The first thing, I mean, it wasn't like, oh, he's like someone from Wu-Tang Clan, or oh, he's
Yeah.
like Prodigy or something like that. It was just like, whoa, like that's different. And he's, and then I found out about Conway and saw they were doing their thing together. I was like, oh, that's cool. And they're from Buffalo. Oh, that's different, because no one's really come out of
Yep.
Buffalo and
Yeah.
made it really big, I guess. You know what I'm saying? That's Rick James, rest in peace. But he was not an MC. But anyways,
Darkness.
man, there's like.
Yeah.
It's not a someone trying to like, I don't think, at least not for me, or I think anyone at this table, trying to like hold on to the past in
Nah.
any way. It's
No.
actually seeing someone carry all those things I just said before forward. Right?
Yeah, and that, I think that was kind of my point, though, that I was making.
The
'cause
element-
that's what they're looking. Like the people that were looking for that same style, the Mobb Deep,
Yep.
the Wu-Tang Clan, who else was out?
MOP,
MO
maybe a little
Yeah,
bit.
a little bit,
not
but-
maybe not as aggressive.
But that style, and definitely your point when you said Ray and Ghost.
No question.
Definitely more Ray and Ghost in the world.
𝐿𝐿
They say the locks a lot too. You can hear that Styles P and Jada.
Minus
like, a little bit.
production, I would say, yeah.
Yeah. Benny, that was like a big thing for him. But yeah, they totally are carrying.
But they just brought it
At
here.
one point, Ray went on stage and like passed the torch to these dudes.
That's
like
what's
they
up.
have done that. You know what I mean? Which is really cool.
Which to
but
me
no.
makes perfect sense.
But more to like the person who asked you this, or even to like younger people who seem to say that stuff. Like same question I would have is always like, what do you like? Like, and why do you like it? You know what I mean?
Yeah, I'm with Terry to Terry's point about there's nothing wrong with it, because I admitted that was my initial thought. But it just became more about the product for me as I continue. And they have elements of all the people that we're talking about. I think it'd be naive to just be like, they haven't paid attention to those guys. But to his point, Spool's point, it's still different. It's still theirs.
It's kind of like even in R&B, one of the reasons Ella May is doing so well right now is her sound is nostalgic, in my opinion.
I agree.
It sounds like 90s R&B shit. You know what I'm saying? And that's what people want to hear, because it was, I can't say it's better.
Right.
It's just that time period, the influences and the sounds were different. You know what I'm saying? And
she just put her spin on it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's the updated version.
It's interesting too, because with all the young kids, I'm saying like the early 20s, late teens. There's kids going back to wearing Nautica and Hilfiger and all that stuff. So I mean, it's still happening in a different way, and with young people. So I don't think that they're completely removed from it either.
And I remember, the Wally explosion with Ray and Ghost, like seeing the ice cream video with the Snow Beach joint, like they were those guys, and now we see.
And that's another point to what Spoolz said with Griselda and their merch and how big that is. I mean, that was huge.
The difference is that they were selling
cool.
polo and they're selling their own merch.
What's cool about Woo Wear though is you could go get it somewhere.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, they did start selling Woo Wear.
Shout out to Marshalls.
That's right, Marshalls.
TJ Maxx.
That's right.
Ain't what you want, baby.
You go online to get go get a Conway T-shirt.
Yeah.
Go to eBay. That's the only place you're gonna find one. Yep, it's gonna be marked up considerably, I'm sure.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but Ray and Ghost were those dudes. It was a
Did
fly
you have some
dudes.
Wallies?
Totally.
I had one pair, man.
Was they knockoffs?
Were they comfortable?
They were knockoffs.
Okay.
They had the gum solo.
You had the B boots.
Eastland. At the Eastland.
Chicken
well,
and broccoli.
Eastlands is straight though. You can.
I had Eastlands with the green tag.
Those are straight. Those aren't knockoff Wallies.
Okay.
You had B boots if you had knockoff Wallies.
No, I had Eastland. My joints is Eastland.
Okay, those are cool.
I had a great pair. Yeah. Wore them out.
All right.
Trying to be like Ray and Ghost. I wasn't sagging or nothing like that, though. You know what I'm saying? I ain't had no pistol on.
It always comes back to sagging.
It does for some reason.
You didn't have that thing on you?
I didn't have that thing on me, but I did.
Probably used to wear your pants super high.
Oh yeah.
Definitely.
Hey man, I ain't gonna get. I'm not gonna get cyberbullied by a thug on the show.
I'm a big proponent of the wall.
We're in person.
Not gonna lie.
We're in person.
This is on the internet though, so
it doesn't matter.
It's
but
cyberbullying.
We're having a
All
conversation.
right, man. How much time we got left?
Side note: big proponent in real life of the Wallaby.
Yeah.
I definitely suggest it.
We know.
He got multiple fresh
collection.
pairs.
They're awesome. They're very comfortable.
They are.
A lot of postal workers wear.
I know. Leslie always reminds me of that. She's like, she didn't like them.
Shout out to the postal workers wearing Wallies.
Postal worker shoes. Yeah.
Shout out to the postal workers wearing Wallies.
Shout out to Leslie. Leslie's Helga.
Shout out to Leslie as
Nick's
well.
wife.
Anything? Let's just run through the rundown. Anybody
Is that
have
all the
anything
music we had?
I think that's everything that was on the list. Let me double check.
Well, there's the 8-Ball MJG live.
Oh, the
album.
live album.
the
Yes,
live
good
album.
call. I wrote down.
Was that recorded live? I mean, like from a particular show? Or
They tried to trick us, but
They
no.
tried to trick us.
It sounds like the crowd was manufactured in.
100%.
It did sound like a very standard crowd noise between songs.
Yeah,
So they brought.
but they
band
redid
in
it with
and
live
re-recorded it.
instrumentation.
It's called classic pimping.
It's actually really good.
It's just dope as hell.
Yeah.
I was listening to it on the way here, and I was just like, God damn, like when certain songs come on, there's something about that live instrumentation.
Yeah.
And I mean, it definitely sounds more polished than a live show would sound.
Yeah.
But
I could tell in the vocals.
Yeah.
How the vocals were recorded.
And I don't know if like people have heard like old 8-Ball MJG albums, and you hear it sounds like it needs to be remastered.
Yeah.
Like some of these songs kind of fill that void. Because
It's crispy.
You probably don't
Yeah,
have to
it's
mess
crispy.
with the knobs and
For
shit
sure.
when you're DJing.
So what
Yeah.
you're saying is that it doesn't sound like those really bad jazz renditions of hip hop songs you could buy in the barbershop.
Right.
Nah.
I've
not
definitely
like
seen
that.
people hustling those.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Wow.
Two for $7.50.
No, it's
Oh, no.
official.
Shout out to Terra Barbershop.
We see you
That's
out
right,
there.
West Side, baby.
So,
East side.
Metronome, you got anything popping? Run your schedule down real quick while we got you. I know you're a busy man.
Man,
What can-
just wrapped up New Year's, so kind of fresh start. Back to the Future this Friday.
Okay.
Then back to Coaches next Tuesday. That's why I'm here. I can never be here because of Coaches. So
Man,
take that Tuesday.
We
But
really appreciate the
Yeah.
opportunity to actually get you to come in, man.
thanks
So
for having me.
Yes.
you're a very busy man, multitasking, always doing something different. So we appreciate you just giving us some of your time to come
I'm
sit
honored.
down with us. Yeah, this is dope. So check him out. Also, you said Coaches will start. Jay Moore, we see you the following Tuesday.
Yes, next week.
Okay.
7
that's what's
days.
up. Now, anybody else have anything else that I'm missing?
Every Saturday from 7 to 10 at Patron Saint, we got lo-fi hip-hop. David Peck spinning lo-fi hip-hop and beats and instrumental stuff there. So.
Shout out to David Peck. That is definitely a nice movement that has started.
He did his
Here in the
thing
city.
at Hip Hop Night with the live beats and stuff.
Yeah.
Word.
Indeed.
That's what's up.
That's it.
Did I miss anything? That's it. Shout out to the sponsors, 𝐀𝐿 Dental, 317-255-8546. Get your teeth is right, Printfinity as well.
Spoolz does have on a Printfinity sweatshirt today.
That's right.
Naptown, we see you see the signature flame down
It's
there
official.
for Printfinity.
That's right.
It is official. Any CD and vinyl, we appreciate you guys as well. Bringing down the band as always is the Hub. Red August, we see you. Joe Harvey, we see you. Jay Moore in the building as well. And I think
Jay
there's-
Harvey here from Korea,
He
though.
is, man. We appreciate you coming out and kicking it with us as well. That's a long way.
Yeah.
Come to a new Old Heads podcast.
We're going to try to get him to skip his flight and be on the next show.
Right.
How
Word,
about
we
that?
could do that. Yeah. I don't know how much that's gonna cost. I ain't gonna count your pockets. But maybe we'll see if we can get that done. All right, I believe that is everything. We appreciate everyone. Episode 114. I am Major 7th for DJ Spoolz, Lonegevity, DJ Jay Diff, and DJ MetroGnome. We will see y'all next week. Peace.
2019. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year, y'all.